Alright, well, hello friends, first. I don't do this often, but today I'm going to change my opinion, and that opinion is changing on We Buy Any Car. I did a review on their restroom, which, of course, is still nasty, but that's the thing. They don't sell restrooms, and they're not, their appearance isn't a restroom. It's just there for you to use if you need to use it, as well as the employee that works there, which I'm pretty sure only one guy works there, which makes sense because, they're not going to have all these people for the little bit of business, that comes in every day. I think they have, every hour, I think they have stuff scheduled for people to come in and sell their car. But, yeah, the reason I'm changing my opinion before, I was angry because we've had my buddy's car, and they offered $8,500 for it, and they said that they'd offer $9,500. But the thing is, their online estimator, I don't think it allowed you to pick that it's a standard transmission, aka a manual stick shift car. And when we got there, the guy said, I can only give you $8,500 because that's $1,000 off as an option, because basically most dealerships, it's $1,000 option for an automatic transmission, $1,000 more, sometimes $2,000 more nowadays. But manuals are much cheaper, and manuals are much less sought after. Even though they're fun things, they're much less sought after. A lot of people don't even know how to drive them now, and I've read that 3% of cars on the road right now are standard transmission. So that makes sense. So the reason I'm changing my opinion as well is we went and tried to sell his car to a Hyundai dealership and a Nissan dealership by us. And the guy at the Nissan dealership, he told us how it works, because we went to Hyundai, they offered $7,500. We went to Nissan and they were taking forever. So the guy's explaining to us, he's like, they look in a 200-mile radius and they see comparables, they see what they could sell for, they see what they could give us and still make a good amount. And he said, like, places like We Buy Any Car, there's hardly any overhead, because that's what they do. They only buy cars, whereas like the dealership, they're buying cars, they're paying all these people. Makes sense. So in the end, they also offered us $7,500. So we ended up going back to We Buy Any Car. Carvana was saying they'd offer over 10 grand. I think 10.3. But they come and pick up your car, and we weren't positive that that's what they would give us, even though their online estimator was saying so. They might have got there and said, hey, it needs new tires, which it did. It needed all this stuff, it needed different things done to it. Probably needs fluids changed and whatnot. We Buy Any Car, they have a simple process. He goes out, looks over the car, checks codes. He even had this paint thing. They make sure the paint's original and there's like no messing with the frame or anything. It's pretty wild how they do it. But whole process took about an hour. Their thing on their wall said it sometimes takes a half hour. That's probably in like really good cases where they know exactly what they're buying, and the car's probably newer. An older car like this, it was 3 years old, so they're looking it over a little more than a brand new car that people probably bring in. Because I was telling the wife that when we were there, I was like, people probably screw up, buy brand new cars, and because I seen on the wall, I'm like, why did they accept cards? And then she was like, well, what happens is, they probably got to pay off the rest of their car or whatever We Buy Any Car won't give them. So that's probably what happens. People get, knee deep in debt. They're like, man, I can't afford this car, so I can sell it to them, and then I can give them the difference, be cheaper than, losing the car pretty much. So, yeah, it's a good business. I changed my opinion on them. It's really good if you need to sell a car. I mean, that's definitely the way to go. They're going to give you the most bang for the buck over a dealership. So like I said, don't do this often. You might never see me on here do this again, but I'm changing my opinion. Good company, still crappy restroom. I mean, there's no getting around that. You can watch the restroom review. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Hope you like my stories. I'm going to try to get out there. I have a busy work schedule. I'm going to try to get out there and do more restrooms. And if you like the abandoned places, let me know. I mean, it's one of those things I like to do it as a time filler, but I can do these instead. I love you all, and I will see you next time right here with the GearShots. And this is what we always do at the end. Mwah, mwah.